Good morning. This is JC, St. Louis's oldest living hippie, and I'm bringing you a story from Raw Story. It was written by Robert Reich, the noted economist, and it's talking about Trump's mental faculties. The way that Trump uh, reacts in public to questions, the way that he concocts sentences, the way that he goes off on tangents, and all of the different things that happen during pressers and during meetings, and also falling asleep during a meeting with in the Oval Office, all portend that he or to the fact that his mental health is deteriorating. Although the Republicans and the press, not the pressers, the national press, ABC, NBC, and all of those, they contend that Trump's always been that way, and he's not losing his mental faculties. It's just him being the same way he's always been, crazy and um, irresponsible, and can't put a sentence together. And I don't know. I just think that Trump has lost it. I think he's been mentally ill for some time, and now I think he's going into a state of diluted dementia, and it's coming out in these meetings where people ask him questions and he doesn't know the answers, or he goes off on some tangent about something, for instance, such as the military should have gold paper. I don't know if he means gold around the edges or what, but he doesn't like the paper that the military letters and whatever military documents are written on, which is Trump. I mean, he brags about the gold accoutrement that he has now put in the new Lincoln bathroom, things like that. The man is a total lunatic, and he reminds me of some of the um, movies where they talk about nouveau rich, or nouveau riche, as the French would say, newly rich people who have no taste, and they go gaudy and gauche with their decorations and their furniture and whatnot. And Trump has totally turned the White House into a gaudy, gauche, uh, what he thinks of as his palace. So this is about 4 minutes long, almost 5 minutes long, but I think you should listen to all of it because it's amazing as it talks about him and the things that he does and says.
These red flags show Trump's mental decline is rapidly worsening. Over the last month, Trump's mental decline has appeared to worsen. Consider. On Sunday, he posted an image claiming that Barack Obama had been collecting millions in taxpayer dollars from royalties linked to Obamacare. The bogus item was from a satirical website called the Dunning-Kruger Times, a reference to the Dunning-Kruger effect, the well-observed tendency of stupid people to vastly overestimate their abilities or intelligence.
That's Trump.
After last Tuesday's elections, he called affordability a new word and said Republicans had not talked enough about it, but then blasted it as a Democratic con job, and declared I don't want to hear about the affordability. Seemingly oblivious to the economic struggles Americans find themselves in, he has posted incessantly about the new Lincoln bathroom, remodeled in black and white marble with gold faucets and light fixtures, his new White House ballroom, to be built in marble and gilded in gold, and renovations at the Kennedy Center, which he said would be outfitted in marble and magnificent high-end carpeting. When responding to a question about his mental acuity, he confused a dementia screening test for an IQ test. When he addressed America's top military brass, he veered abruptly from discussing Marine morale to Biden's AutoPen and said, I have to sign for a general because we have beautiful paper, the gorgeous paper. I said, throw a little more gold on it, they deserve it. I want the A paper, not the D paper. We used to sign a piece of garbage. He claimed that he had halted a nuclear war between Iran and Pakistan, repeatedly confusing Iran and India without noticing his mistake. He insisted he had solved an imaginary conflict between Cambodia and Armenia, two nations 4,000 miles apart. Days before, he bragged he'd stopped a showdown between Azerbaijan and Albania, apparently meaning Armenia. Speaking to reporters one day after meeting with Chuck Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries to avert a shutdown, Trump discussed his talks with Chuck Schumer, who was here yesterday, along with, a very nice gentleman who I didn't really know. You know who I'm talking about. On October 18th, when more than 7 million Americans protested against him, he posted an AA video depicting him bombing the protesters with feces. I could go on, but you get the point. Trump appears to be rapidly losing his mind. Yet the media isn't covering his mental deterioration. Why not? When I ask in the media, I usually get one of the following responses. 1. There's been no noticeable decline in Trump's mental faculties. They tell me that Trump has always been incoherent. He's always veered off script into bizarre tangents. He's always made bonkers factual mistakes, along with his ubiquitous lies. So, they say, there's been no noticeable decline in recent months. 2. His decline can't be substantiated. A second response I get is that Trump's declining mental condition can't be substantiated. Yes, there are abundant anecdotes, such as those I listed above, but no hard evidence. Unless or until he says or does something totally and dangerously bonkers or his decline is substantiated, this isn't news. 3. Media owners are blocking stories about his mental decline. A third response I get is that yes, his mental faculties have been in free fall, but no media owner wants to cover this for fear of retribution. The owners of all major media are either being sued by Trump for defamation or have recently settled with him, or are dependent on Trump's FCC or fear Trump's FTC and don't want to risk his wrath. 4. Journalists don't want to cover this. A final response is that, while the evidence of his decline is overwhelming, reporters themselves are self-censoring. There are so many other important Trump stories to cover, and his mental condition is such a controversial topic, that they've put any investigation into his mental deterioration on the back burner. Hence, today's office hours question, why in your view is the media not reporting on Trump's mental decline? Robert Reich is a professor of public policy at Berkeley and former Secretary of Labor. His writings can be found at https://robertreich.substack.com/.
There you go. Donald Trump is either a total idiot or he's facing Alzheimer's or something like that, some form of dementia. Or he may be having strokes. I don't know. But the man is sick one way or the other. Either he's mentally ill, or he has dementia, he has Alzheimer's, or the guy is just so ignorant he can't put together a sentence, and he can't keep his mind on anything for more than 10 seconds. So there you go. This is what's happening. This guy has access to the nuclear football. Think about that. This is JC saying, fuck Donald Trump. And to all of the rest of you, I love you all. Poxmore Jack. Keep on trucking.